Okay, so in this beautiful practice we're about to dive into, I'm going to invite you to stop wherever you're at, even if you're in mid-flow of finding your mat, and close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Here we go together. Breathing in. I am here. Breathing out. I feel gravity. Again, breathing in. I feel myself here. Breathing out, I let gravity take hold of my bones and my breath and my body. Yeah, one more time. Breathing in, affirming now, I am here. You can say it out loud. I am here. And breathing out, hello, gravity. Thank you. You can repeat after me. Hello, gravity. Thank you for showing me which direction is down. Good. So as you cozy into your mat, I'm going to open our space further. There'll be some veils that we open. So here's veil 2 with a card. And let's see, I don't have my screen flipped. This card says enlightenment, and I'd like to read it to you. So receive. Enlightenment is the process of cultivating appreciation, compassion, loving kindness, and joy. When you can allow the world around you to be what it is without becoming bitter, fearful, blaming, or aggressive, you increase your ability to influence others in a positive way. You are the center of an ocean of possibilities. Deep breath. It is up to you to choose in each moment the thoughts, words, and actions that pave your path to enlightenment. And so if your hands can, just have them rest on your thighs. Close your eyes. You're closing the outer eyes so that you can open your inner eye. And so sense and feel as you breathe now that your inner eye, sometimes said to be located at the center of the forehead, is opening in a nice wide aperture right now. And go ahead and take 3 breaths in and out through the aperture of your inner eye. Regardless if you're capable of seeing with your outer eyes, some of us don't have that sense organ. All of us have the capacity to open the inner eye. So we're just taking another 2 breaths here, opening the faculty of your inner eye. Like a viewing screen, a vision board. And then I'd like you to shift your attention down to your pelvic floor and maybe circle your pelvis a little bit where you're sitting. Just a little circle so you have a little broader sense of where your pelvis is sitting on the floor. And then I'd like you to take 3 breaths, opening the aperture of that pelvic floor, your perineum. And just like the inner eye, the pelvic floor is also an eye. And it's a way that we can see and feel the gravity of belonging in our body. So we're going to work with these 2 centers today, the eye of the pelvic floor and the eye of the 3rd eye. Go ahead and come to child's pose now. You're going to put your third eye right on the ground. And I'd like you to blink your pelvic floor. Some might call it a Kegel, a squeeze and release, 3 times. And feel that resonate and reverb up into your third eye. Squeezing the pelvic floor, feeling the connection to the third eye. Almost like you're squeezing a tube of toothpaste and all the energy is going up to ping your third eye open. Good, and then one more breath here in this beautiful low to the earth posture. I'd like you to send a gratitude, a moment of prayer to the earth. And I'd like you to speak out loud because everybody's on mute. I'd like you to speak a sentence of love and gratitude to the earth. Just let it spontaneously erupt through you. And then when you're ready, when that prayer has been set, come up to hands and knees. And let's move some energy through our spine here. And as you inhale into that traditional cow pose, feel the third eye reaching towards the pelvic floor, as if you were going to make a big circle. And then exhale, bring your third eye towards your pelvic floor, rounding your back. So taking your time and arcing this pathway and visualizing that the third eye connects all the way to the pelvic floor and in each section of this cat and cow posture. Good, and then coming to your flat spine, I'd like you to crawl your hands out as we often do, come into puppy dog pose. Put your third eye on the ground. Put your fingertips on the floor, but the inner arch of the hand is lifted off the floor. Tuck your toes under behind you and press into your knees and your tucked under toes and spread open the pelvic floor. Nice wide breath coming in into the pelvic floor and all the way up to your third eye. And as we did in child's pose, I'd like you to squeeze or kegel your pelvic floor 3 times and feel the reverb up into your third eye. Good, and then look forward and kind of slink all the way down onto your belly. And you're gonna slink into Sphinx. And if you want, you can play with me and say that 3 times. Slink into Sphinx. Slink into Sphinx. Slink into Sphinx. Wow, little tongue twister moment. As you breathe here, opening your chest, reaching your legs long and grounded. I want you to visualize that your legs are like a mermaid tail. That is a 1 unit party, grounding your legs so that your heart can lift. Good, and then exhale, come down, bring your arms behind you. These are your wings. Third eye to the floor. Interlace your hands behind you. And then rest your wrists. If you want, you can say that 3 times. Rest your wrists on your pelvis. Draw the upper arm bones together. And then lift your arms away from your pelvis. Keep your third eye on the ground. press your pubic bone down. That's going to engage your butt and your legs. And now inhale, lift your chest up and your arms. I'd like you to open your mouth and breathe through an open mouth. One more time, you got it. Good, releasing the hands, bring them next to your shoulders. Slink back into downward facing dog. If you got socks on, you might take them off. Take a little warm up skate in your down dog. So what does it mean to warm up inside of this posture, downward facing dog? It means you've got your dance glasses on. And so you're improvising. You're letting your body show you what feels good. For me, a lion's face just erupted there. Felt an authentic, natural way of opening the face, the tone of the throat, enlivening the tongue. Good, let's take a big step. Let's go forward, right foot, put the left knee down. Yeah, I notice my hair is bothering the microphone. I'm gonna tie it back. So come on up, actually bring your hands like mine. Then your hands behind your head and lift your heart, push your head back into interlaced hand. Yeah. And drop your pelvis forward and take 3 pulsing breaths. So again, that's that Kegel, squeezing the pelvic floor, feeling the energy flow up to the third eye. Opening your inner tube. Good, open the arms, take one big stretch, reach up, lift the back knee off the ground, hover that back knee up, and then exhale, bring it all down. You're gonna take it back with the hips. You're gonna leave that right foot where it was. Hamstring stretch. Fingertips, you can go high in the fingertips. It gives you a little more space. You can always use books or blocks, if you need more support for these postures. Good, and now reach your tailbone back. Reach your eyes and your breath forward. Hello, body. You can repeat after me. Hello, body. I'm choosing to take really good care of you in this moment. And then bending that right knee, come back forward. Root the hands and step right foot back to left. There you go, downward facing dog. And again, you've got your dance glasses on here. I like that. And so what does that mean? You're improvising. You're curious. You're coloring outside of the lines a little bit. You're feeling your way into a deeper opening of your body. Good, and then an inhale, left foot comes forward, put the right knee down. And this is how we got here last time. I just put my hair up, so we'll do it again. That's how I create class, I improvise. And so we're gonna lean back into the hands and lift the heart and drop the hips. Of course, breathing. And you can repeat after me, hello, breath. You are the closest person to me. I choose to get to know you in a deeper, more intimate way today. Good, and then reach the arms up. Lift the back knee off the floor. Take a wildly big breath. And then bring it back down. Hands and the back knee find the ground. And then take it back. Well, what's it? Your hips. Take your hips back and your hands. Your hands are going to go in a supportive place, which is under the shoulders. And you're saying hello to your hamstring. Hello, hamstring. Ooh, you have a lot to say. Let me actually really drop in and listen. So as you really drop in and listen to that left hamstring, reach your tail back, your heart and your breath forward. Like a rainbow coming out of your mouth. Open the mouth, breathe in and out through an open mouth. And you might begin to hear the sound of the rain here in my ecosystem this morning. So if that's true, you can breathe in the rain and let it nourish you. As you come forward, bending the left knee. Yeah. Rooting the hands down. And then step back. Stepping the left foot back to meet the right, downward facing dog. And then bridging the distance between downward facing dog and upward facing dog. So I'd like you to round your back like an angry cat. Bring your chin to your chest and roll forward one vertebra at a time until you come into upward dog with your eyes up, head up, hips. And we'll take that roll through, that flow through 3 or 4 times. Chin to chest, rounding the back, rolling through one vertebra at a time. Head is the last thing to come up as the hips drop low. One more time. Good. From your downward facing dog, walk your hands back to your feet. If you prefer, you can walk your feet to your hands. Walk it together. And when you get the weight solely on your feet, bend your knees. The soles of your feet are hip width apart. Bend your knees enough so that your belly comes a little closer to or on your thighs. And then inhale, reach your arms out to the side, your wings, and hover there, arms out to the side. And I'm going to have you look forward with your chin as you lengthen your spine. And then look with your eyes and your chin towards your navel. So 2 times looking forward, spinning the arms open, like you're opening a doorknob and closed. And then you'll interlace the hands as we did on the belly earlier. And you rest the hands on your sacrum for a breath. You're going to gather the upper arm bones, the shoulder blades together on the back. Then you're going to lift the arms away from the spine. And you're going to look up as you did before. It's like a bird, its beak is forward and the wings are up and back. Tongue comes out in a lion's face. Lion bird pose. And then exhale, release the chin, release the arms. Let the arms slide down your legs. And we're going to roll up real slow, rolling up to stand, bending the knees enough so that you can take a slow flow, like an upward reaching waterfall, coming up through your spine. And when you come to stand, eyes remain closed, and you feel the pulsations of energy in your body. Root into your feet, push your feet into the floor. Spread your fingers wide and spin the palms open. Press your heels down, drop your tail, lift your belly, and take those 3 pulses, Kegels, bringing the energy up to your third eye. Lighting up the midline of your body. And then as you inhale, I want you to take 3 deep breaths, 3 cycles of breath to mark the edge of your field. So your arms are going to go slow out to the side. 3 deep breaths to bring your arms eventually up above the head. Good, and then exhale, bringing the arms down, bending the knees, bringing the palms into prayer as you sit the butt back and the chest forward into child pose. You're going to take those 3 squeezes of the pelvic floor here, Kegels, and draw the energy up to your third eye. And then on the last breath, arms come up. And on your next breath, the legs straight, look up. And exhale, dive forward. Bringing your hands back to the floor. Crawling your hands forward all the way into plank. Little creature mode as you climb into plank pose. And in plank, keep the crawling motion going. So this is going to take a lot of effort and core strength, but you keep lifting a palm and placing it back down, and you're doing the same with the feet. I invite you to breathe really strong. Some protective breaths. Good, and then pause and plank, and you can do it. Exhale back to down dog with a big, bold sound. 3 deep breaths, resting in downward facing dog. Beautiful. And then inhale, right foot coming forward between the hands. You're going to come up on the fingertips. I'm scooting back just so my view of my upper body's in the screen. We're going to bounce the hips 3 times and then bring our head up, hands to hips. 1, 2, 3. And 3 more bounces. So you're in your crescent lunge, hands on hips, bouncing the pelvis. And then arms up and stay. And breathe. And squeeze the pelvic floor and draw the energy up to your third eye. Yes. Good. Exhale. Hands come almost to the ground. You're going to bring them back behind at your hips. So your torso is hovering over your front leg. And you're really strengthening the core. You're going to breathe here, those strong breaths. Like a protective mama bear. Helps to bring the energy into the core. Good, and then the hands come to the ground here. You're going to step right foot back to left in plank pose. And depending on what kind of strength training you like, you either just stay in plank or you do 3 little miniature push-ups. So the elbows bend an inch or 2 and you come right back up, keeping the structure of the plank pose. And then there you go, hips up, downward facing dog. And we'll rest in downward dog for 3 deep breaths. Good, and then inhale, left foot forward, between the hands. We're up on the fingertips and we're gonna bounce the hips a few times. And then we're gonna go hands to hips, head high. So 1, 2, 3, hands to hips, head high. Keep bouncing. 1, 2, 3, and then arms up. The bounce stops and the breath is the bounce. Nice. Squeezing the pelvic floor and drawing the energy up to the third eye. And then arc the arms back so they go next to your hips. Chest is hovering above the left knee. Breathe and squeeze your energy into your core. Use those mama bear protective kind of a snarl sound. Yeah. Claim your space. Good, and then hands to the ground. Ooh, that feels good. Step it back to plank. And then your choice, either breathe and steady in plank or 3 little baby push-ups. Resist the urge to do a full push-up if your shoulders change shape at all. You want your shoulders to stay in the same position that they're in for plank. Good, hips up and back. Big open sound, release the effort. Take a 3 breath rest here in downward dog. Good, we're gonna take pigeon. So you're gonna swoop your right knee forward. Yeah. I'm gonna turn it sideways slightly. And I want you to stay high on the fingertips. And I want you to tuck your left toes under and lift the left knee off the floor. Lift the chest, squeeze the pelvic floor, and draw the energy up to the third eye. Good, and then let the left knee come down. And then let your butt come all the way to the ground, and now your third eye. If your third eye or your head doesn't easily reach the ground, just make a pillow with your hands or your fists. And pulse the perineum here. So squeeze the pelvic floor and draw the energy. Paint the gold line that is your midline with your intention, with your attention, and with your breath. Remember when we were standing and we used our arms to carve the energy, space, the orbit of our aura. Do that here in this posture. Feel about 6 feet in each direction around you is a magical line that holds your energy and keeps others' energy just on the other side of that line. That's how you can be the most potent, with the conscious daily practice of clearing your field. Just breathing deep here. As you open that beautiful space for your energy to be really vibrant, alive, coalesced, and creative. Let's take 2 more big breaths here and release with sound. Your next 2 exhales, I want you to find the sound that your hips need to release another layer. And then with awareness and slow molasses speed, come up with your hands next to your hips. And gently push yourself back to hands and knees. Yep. So my favorite counter posture after the pigeon pose is gate pose. So I'll have you swing your right leg out to the side. So your right foot is in line with your left knee. And you'll walk your hands over to the left. You'll place your left hand in the same line as the left knee and right foot. Now, right hand to the hip. And you begin to open into gate pose. Now, right hand to the sky, look up. And push your hips forward. Some of you might be able to go into a little bit of a backflip. I don't really mean a backflip, but there's a sensation that your hips are reaching forward and your head and your heart are carving back into space behind you. And then notice if you're holding tension in your neck and shape shift that. You can change how the head is hanging. Change how the upper arm is coming out of the neck. And then again, 2 more deep breaths here, allowing a sound to open the neck throat junction. And real slow, slow like molasses. Come on back to hands and knees. Take your time. And take it back, downward dog. 3 breaths. Let's rest here. If this pose doesn't feel like a rest, you can always take puppy dog pose with your knees on the ground, your forehead on the ground. And then inhale, bring your left knee forward. We're going to come into pigeon. Fingertips are on the floor. And you're going to tuck your right toes under behind you. And you're going to lift that right knee off the ground. Lift the chest. Squeeze the pelvic floor and zip the energy up to your third eye. Good, and then bring the right knee down, top of the right foot down, your butt down, and then your forehead down on the ground, breath by breath. squeezing the pelvic floor and drawing the gold line of your midline with your intention and your attention and your breath, claiming your mid space, your core, gold line, divine line. And once that gold line right down the center of your spine is really bold, you can begin to reach out so that you create a circle around you. If you're more sensitive, you can have your circle so that it's maybe 2 feet away from you in all directions. If you feel more at ease and at peace today, you can let that circle be the size of the room you're in, or even bigger. Just play with it. Good, and then we're gonna take 2 more breaths, and I want you to use the sound that will support your hips to let go another layer. So 2 breaths and 2 sounds that are sprouting from the sensation in your hip. And then low and slow like molasses, start to come up with your torso. Use your hands and reorient to hands and knees. And then you're going to kick that left leg straight out to the side. If you're on a yoga mat, it's going to be perpendicular to the facing of your mat. Walk your hands right. Root the right hand down. Left hand to the hip. And then left arm reaches up. Coming into this beautiful gate pose. As you press your hips forward, and perhaps you can skydive your heart back into the space behind you. Just be curious what gate you're opening. Yeah, that one. That's the gate you know you're opening. And then 2 more breaths and 2 sounds here that support the gate between the neck and the left shoulder to open. And slow like molasses, come back to hands and knees. And we're going to come into a rest. So either cross the ankles and come into a seated meditation, or come down on your back. Whichever posture you've chosen for yourself. Begin to breathe and allow yourself this time of rest, this time of reset, this time of receiving and filling your cup. using your breath. Exhale to empty. Inhales are for filling. Nourishment is yours as you inhale. Trusting that you can give it all away, every single last drop as you exhale. So empty, so much trust. And the inhale, the universe fills your cup. And one more really authentic releasing of everything on your next exhale. Letting it all go and go and go. And a full inhalation now, bringing in, harnessing, receiving the chi, fullness of your own cup. And this time, keep that exhale for yourself. Followed by the next inhale, it's all for you. And then holding the pelvic floor slightly, pinning it closed a little bit and letting that exhale fill you. Maybe up to the belly this time. And another inhale, it's just for you. And as you squeeze the perineum, this next exhale fills your body, maybe up to the heart area. Feel yourself vibrating higher. One more breath. This inhale is all for you. And as you hold the perineum, this next exhalation fills your whole body up to the crown of your head. Feeling the vibratory, the frequency shift of your body, your breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers like phosphorescence, tickling your energy field. If you're on the ground or seated, elongate into a stretch, reach your arms up. And then if you're lying down, just slowly come up to sit, curl into your side first, and then come up to a vertical stance. So as we bring the hands together in front of the heart, this is a symbol of bringing the inner masculine and the inner feminine into the 0 point, a collaboration, a true wholeness. And with that, may we dance today in a way where we're curious about what would it be like to bring the inner divine masculine and inner divine feminine completely into teamwork inside of ourselves. And so it is. Bowing forward, thank you for practicing and playing and praying with me today. My family of light.